Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4! And today, spawning in the north corner of the map, playing in blue, we've got Beastyqt playing as the Golden Horde. And up against them today, spawning in the south in red, we've got Sass playing as the Sengoku Daimyo. Welcome everyone to Dry Arabia. And as always, hope you're all having a fantastic morning, good afternoon or good evening. Going to be in for some cracking Age of Empires 4 action. Two of the world's best players going toe-to-toe, and two new civilizations, of course. Part of the new Age of Empires 4 DLC preview. I'm excited because we've seen a couple of games actually now, to be fair. And we've got a couple of things that are establishing themselves for these two civilizations. The Sengoku Daimyo are an interesting civilization, kind of like the Japanese, seemingly having a power spike in the Castle Age, although what I'm liking about them is that, like a lot of other civilizations, they can make units in the feudal age, in particular the samurai, that can scale pretty well into the Castle Age. So you build up a large group of them in the feudal age, and when you hit the Castle Age, it's a nice power spike with the upgrades to veterancy. Now, of course, the Golden Horde is no stranger to that strategy also, with their version with the Keshiks. Obviously cavalry, a bit more mobile. We'll see what they're up to today. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel. If you have, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Really helps me out on the YouTube algorithm side of things. We've been making some good progress, I feel like, on the YouTube side. Being able to grow the channel, which is always a creator's dream. Of course, the content, the DLC has been a fantastic boost for the channel, and I've been enjoying it, actually. To be honest, I took a big break from Age of Empires forecasting until the DLC dropped. And then it kind of got me back in because lots more exciting strategies, new civilizations, so much to talk about, keeps things fresh. And I'll be honest, the Pro Scouts meta got a little bit boring and tiresome. You could kind of read how the game was always going to go on, most civilization matchups. But things have slightly changed. Well, anyway, speaking about deer anyway, we've got the Yatai. It's a pretty cool addition to the Age of Empires 4 economy system in terms of, well, at least how the Sengoku Daimyo work. It's with the Matsuri. So you guys probably know by now that this costs 100 wood and can build the Yatai. Now, the Matsuri acts as a universal drop-off building, which is pretty cool for going on a wood line, or sometimes we see people placing it on gold. But the big thing is that over time, the Yatai actually give traders back, and when they reach the Matsuri, they increase the villager gather rate by 5% each time. So it starts off with a base of 5%, and then each time that this little progress bar reaches its full, it comes out with a trader. Trader makes his way back to the Matsuri, gives you some food that way, and then increases the aura. Bear in mind, the Yatai gives you food as well. A base of 20%, not 20%, that'd be crazy. 20 food per minute, and then also depending on what food source you're kind of surrounding with, it gives you even more. Generally though, I mean, to be fair, it's actually not maxed out. The maximum is 60, so I don't know if there's any way to, I mean, you would kind of want to go for boar really. But one thing to bear in mind as well with the Sengoku Daimyo, you can see the boar and the deer right from the beginning of the game. The golden tent being chosen, and it's going to go for the Khan and Turguds here, Beastie. And an interesting choice, actually. One thing to bear in mind, that like a lot of times people have been avoiding building carts, but actually it's a pretty strong timing attack upgrade. Bear in mind you get 2 carts in the feudal age, but you actually get another one in the castle age. And that could be really good. If, for example, you want to drop a monastery, a blacksmith, or to be fair, you probably have a blacksmith already. But a monastery is going to be the big one. It's going to be the Cocker Township, actually. We haven't seen this for a lot. I mean, it's a nice landmark to actually have when there's a lot of stealth forests. But when there's not, people tend to go for the Ryokan. Going to be seeing some shinobi out today, though, which is pretty cool. Now, it has changed, by the way. So the shinobi are very different for the Sengoku Daimyo. They aren't really units that you can build as such. You summon them from the stealth forest. And they've got grenades where they actually increase the enemy, or the damage that the enemy takes by 50%. And it slows them down for 30% as well, for 3 seconds. So it's pretty cool, because it can really act as a really good support unit if you're fighting up against an army that's retreating from your enemy. Now the golden tent will be finishing researching pretty soon. And so the Khan and the Turguds are going to be made cheaper and have a little bit extra health as well, and straight away he queues up Batu Khan, the hero unit. It's a unit you actually just want to always keep as the Golden Horde. Like, you kind of always have to have him on the field because he bolsters up the damage for your allies. And also, it's quite hard to kill him off, especially if you've got the Turgut, because the supporting unit, the Turgut, which is, I think is queued up next, it's a unit that essentially, when it's around the Batu Khan doesn't actually get hurt. The Turgut absorb the damage that's directed at Batu Khan, and the Turgut can heal Batu Khan as well out of combat. So it's really about keeping this guy alive, and well, you can't really snipe him, because you've got to clear out the Turgut first. As you can see here, different levels give it an extra 10% weapon damage in the level 1, level 3, which is Castle Age. Level 1 requires Castle Age, level 2... Hang about. No, he starts off with the Feudal Age, of course. So level 1 is Feudal Age, level 2 is Castle Age, and level 3 is Imperial Age. So you can imagine, 30% extra weapon damage in the Imperial Age, it makes a big difference. And the Scout still has this Falcon, so you can always give that a little bit of extra vision. Gonna charge on in. Scout absorbs that though for Sengoku Daimyo. Yeah, interesting times for Age of Empires 4 for sure. Now I can see a bit of a early movement onto stone. And the reason for that is because he slowly wants to gather the stone so he can get the Daimyo estates. Essentially 3 choosable estates, or clans I should say. You've got the Hojo clan, got the Oda, and you've got the Takeda. Now these buff up various units, so the Hojo clan is the infantry, the Oda is the... Well, to be fair, Hojo is more melee, and the Oda is more ranged, and the Takeda more cavalry. Got some unique techs in them as well, so we'll see how he plays this one out. We've seen a lot of players start off with spears initially for the Sengoku Daimyo, especially against this Golden Horde, where they primarily get cavalry. And this is the Yatai food trader we were talking about. Just carrying 50 food, but more importantly, he's about to bolster the gather rate of the Matsuri. Any minute now. There is a bit of a delay on it, but wait. It definitely does it, guys. Right? Okay, something seems off. We'll take a look at it in just a second. I'm pretty sure that... Okay, we may have to come back to that. It's a bit of an odd one. But it should be being boosted up. Spears, not enough there, actually. Shinobi get drafted on in. So we're talking about Stealth Forest, but they can actually just draft into an allied building as well. That surely's gone up to 10%, no? It's kind of weird. Alright, we'll come up to that back in a moment, but I'm fairly confident that should have increased it to 10%. We'll be chased away here, and the walls will come up behind this. It's probably a good idea to get some walls here, protect some berries, but also the idea is that when you're going up against cavalry, you kind of want to zone off your map as much as you can, just seal it off, so that it's just less angles of attack. As you can see, Beastie now rotating to the berries, and those villages have to be pulled away. And it doesn't seem like a lot of damage is being done, but trust me, there is, because there's a lot of gather rate time being suffered. Oh, he loses a villager as well. That's unfortunate. This is going to bug me. It should be 10%. Maybe he needs 2 of them to come in to increase the rate. Either way, getting a couple of Yari cavalry, so going to get some movement speed on his side of the army as well. And the Daimyo hero. That must mean he's committed to a clan. He's gone for the Takeda. So it probably has it here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, look at that. It says, after collecting enough food, it will send a trader to its home Matsuri, which improves the Matsuri gather rate aura by 5%. I knew I wasn't going crazy. I just don't know why it hasn't done it this time. I don't know if it's bugged or what, but that's a weird one. Strange. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below if you guys have any ideas. Am I missing something? I can't believe I am. I mean, it seems pretty clear cut there, but must be a bug. Either way, fortified outpost coming up for Beastyqt to protect the gold, but more importantly, I suspect he's going to plonk down his production buildings here as well. But what's really kind of crazy is going for the Relic Uvu. He's going for the relatively fast castle, just a couple of units into the castle age. And that will give him... This boost, by the way, this is a fantastic upgrade for the I was going to say Mongols, but obviously the Golden Horde. It reminds me of the Ayyubids fast tech up to the castle age. It reminds me of HRE fast castle. Any civ that, even the Byzantines to be fair, with the relics coming from the Grand Winery, or the monks coming from the Grand Winery. The idea here is for Beastyqt, is to get to the castle age to mop up those relics. And with Relic Uvus, what it allows the monks, or the shamans rather, for Golden Horde to do, is to convert the relics into Uvus. giving him even more stone. And that's great because, well, we'll just take a look at this fight first because this is probably a big one. I don't think Beasty will commit to this. He's just going to buy some time. Spearmen are chasing, of course. Something that he will want to avoid. So the Daimyo Aura, of course, the hero unit here for the Sengoku Daimyo, increasing the movement speed. But yeah, so we're talking about essentially that with the silver, not silver, rather the stone, you could make your Turgut, right? Big stone contribution needed for that. But also, a lot of these upgrades, edicts, will all cost stone. So it's important that they get it. One thing else to bear in mind as well, by the way, the Uvus, when they do run out of stone here, they continue to gather. So it's not like sort of they expire at all. They just continue. It's pretty snazzy. And the fortified outposts, yeah, this is really where things are influenced for the Golden Horde. The edicts all work through the fortified outposts, all these benefits. So the production speed edict here, in fact, he's actually gone for the defensive aura. Oh no, he's got this one. I think he's got the production speed one though. Either way. Yeah, basically around this, the production speed will be increasing, and bear in mind, these units are produced in batches for the Golden Horde. So now that he's in the Castle Age, he'll want to pick up the relics, but of course in Sassy's mind, the Sengoku Daimyo need to deny the relic gathering as much as possible. That's a lot of spearmen. Oh, gets a good couple of hits as well. Gonna go for the woodline. Now there's an interesting upgrade actually for the Hojo clan Daimyo. He's actually gone for the Oda. Okay, so that's interesting. So he can't really commit now to the Hojo. The Hojo actually has an upgrade for the spearmen, increases their movement speed, also damage against villagers by +5. It's kind of weird because spearmen traditionally don't do much against villagers, but the extra +5, they can actually do a bit of raiding. Does pick off one of the Uvus, which is a nice touch. And we even see some upgrades coming in. Cavalry movement speed by 10%. And let's go for another Daimyo from the Oda clan Daimyo estate. Now the levels are important, so you increase the health by 5%, 10%. So he's going to get an extra 5% there because it's level 1 for the Oda clan for the ranged units, of which he doesn't really have any. I'm kind of curious to see why he went for Oda clan. Kind of weird. Maybe he's thinking about something down the line. Really strange. In any case, we've got the Yari cavalry, and they are at level 1 as well, so extra 5% bonus there. And he got the movement speed too. Now the second upgrade in the cavalry side of things, improved Yari, increases the anti-cavalry damage by +2. So that's the big thing about the Yari, by the way. They're like a regular horseman, but the big thing is they get +2 versus cavalry. Kind of similar to the Delhi Ghazi Raider, but the Ghazi Raider is against heavily armored units. +2, whereas this is just against cavalry. So the Golden Horde, and Beastyqt gone for the Kipchak Archer. Actually, slowly becoming one of my favourite units for the Golden Horde. Kind of similar to the Horse Archer, but they've got a really snazzy upgrade later on, which we'll talk about later on, because it looks like Sass is diving in. I'm not so sure how much benefit he gets from this. He's probably trying to get as much of the army down. I mean, it's causing some idle time, but I'm just concerned he's going to lose a lot of his spearmen and not achieve too much. Although, to be fair, the army has slowed down. I think he just wants to clear on up. He doesn't want to let these Kipchak archers to build up its numbers, right? That's really what he's probably worried about. But once he does lose his army, the question is, what does he follow this up with? I love the fact that he's walling. This is certainly this is something that's often overlooked. That when you're being aggressive, you've got to make sure that any sort of retaliation is nullified, right? Either with more defensive units, which is tricky if you're being aggressive, but another way to do it, of course, is with static defenses, which is exactly what Sass has gone after. But maybe this gives Beasty a window of opportunity now to pick up some of those relics, because he's got mobility on his side, like he's got Kipchak archers, and a lot of the army just went down for the Sengoku Daimyo. No, he has got the prayer tent. There we go. Now, I feel like there's a really interesting strategy for the Golden Horde that does attune itself to the fast castle of like HRE and Ibids, where you try and snag up the relics, because you could go for the carts, right? And then you get 2 free production buildings in the feudal age, but then also you get one in the castle age, which you can almost immediately put down into a monastery, if I'm not mistaken. So you can, well, in this case, obviously a prayer tent. And that means you can get a shaman out like super, super fast, right? So, you know, you'd get the hand cart one, or the carts rather, and then the relic Uvus. Of course, though, the Khan Turguds is a really strong one, because if you think about going late game, having the reduced cost by 20% is really nice. But I guess a lot in the way that, you know, you're going to reducing a lot of the stone cost. And if you get an extra relic because you have faster uptime, maybe it's worth getting the extra relic. in any case, it does also increase the health. So, you know, that's a really good upgrade to have for sure. I guess it kind of really depends on what civilization you're up against. What's that, Sass? We'll be going to the Castle Age with the Sake Brewery. It's a really good, strong economic landmark because it essentially can get some villagers to work on it and generate gold. And the reason why I'm a big fan of this landmark is because when you get to the Castle Age, I mean, the two resources you really need are food and gold, right? So you got food sorted out with farms with under the Matsuri, and then you got gold sorted out by the Sake Brewery. Now, the aura, by the way, was 20% now, so it's a healthy bonus. 15 minutes into the game. Not too shabby at all. That's some good blacksmith upgrades coming in. Look at this. Golden Horde going for triple shot. One of my most favorite upgrades in the game. It essentially allows another 2 arrows to come out for the Kipchaks. And granted, each additional arrow is about 50% of the damage that it would normally do from the primary one. But the big thing is bleeding. So all 3 arrows actually apply bleeding, because that's what Kipchak archers do. It's pretty cool against high HP units, because you kind of slowly whittle them down, right? It's pretty cool. I'm kind of curious to see how much it does against, say, for example, mounted samurai, which is, I think, something that Sass is probably going to be thinking about. Of course, the Japanese, as well as the Sengoku Daimyo, do love getting samurai out, mounted ones at least, in the Castle Age. Behind all of this, by the way, 2 relics have been brought home, and a really nice stockyard transition. Now, what we've seen in testing is that the food income from the stockyards is incredibly fast, because it's cheap, but also there's just no drop-off distance. They're just instant dropping. And so that really increases the efficiency. Gives them a really good power spike in terms of food income, for sure. Because if you think about it, look at the food income. Like, Beasty's keeping up in the rates per minute, and he doesn't have the bonus of the Matsuri. Like, this is a sizable amount, 20%. Just shows you the power of the stockyards. Now, granted, there are 17 villagers here, whereas there aren't that many farms. So that probably has a big role to play here too. Although, I mean, he's got villagers on deer, right? So if we actually compare the numbers, it's 27 to 28. So it's actually neck and neck, would you believe? So the Matsuri plus the deer income is matching up just a handful of stockyards. Although it's a bit tricky because actually BC does have some villagers on deer. So scrap that. It's about even, it seems. You can have a glance at it. Alright, Khan debuff arrow coming in. It's an upgrade from the Golden Tent. This is one that I feel like people really should not miss out on, because it's an extra 10% damage on the targeted arrow for 15 seconds. So this is where the Batu Khan becomes really strong, because he's got the initial passive ability, 10% at level 1, 20% level 2, but then he's got the debuff arrow, which really helps things out. Oh, this is interesting. So he kind of baits the spearman into the Batu Khan, who doesn't actually suffer damage, although without any Tulguds he would actually. He's going to fight this off. I don't know about this for Beast. He kind of got trapped. Nice trap there from the Yari cavalry around the back. Kipchak archers probably going to be wilting away here. You can see the purple hue on side the cavalry is the sign of the bleed. Going to snipe a villager if you can. Gets 2, in fact. Nicely done. So 4 villagers killed, but Beastie did lose a lot of army. But guess what? He's got 4 relics, and he's got relic Ubus. Interesting decision. He's gone for the gold income for now. I think he just wants to pump out units for now, and then probably later on change it into the stone generating Ubus. We'll have to see. I mean, I hope he does, because otherwise it's kind of pointless getting this tech up. Although, not pointless, because it does also increase the stone amount by 20%, so at least with the Ubus that you do have, you get some more income. Who's taking this fight? Oh, I love the addition of the Kanabo Samurai, especially against the heavily armored units, the Keshiks, because they got really weak base damage, but they do have a thing where they get essentially 6% of the total HP of the unit they're fighting against as a damage add-on. So it's pretty cool. Especially with the Spearman following up with Mounted Samurai and with the Daimyo. It's a fight that should go well for the Sengoku Daimyo, but reinforcements coming in thick and fast, so Beastie could probably take this fight. He's got some solid upgrades as well. Kipchaks probably do need to back away. And yeah, it looks like Sengoku Daimyo will push that back. Slowly adding some farms behind this. Getting the improved Yari, so yeah, he's going to be committing to that, it seems. Increasing the melee damage as well for the blacksmith upgrade for them. Let's take a look at the Daimyos. He's got Takeda Clan level 2, so 10% bonus health on the cavalry. We've seen a big kind of leaning to that for him. But I'm surprised with one. I feel like this is a long-term plan. I imagine he's going to go for the Tanegashima Ashigaru. Like, it's a really good unit against cavalry. And I think he has this in the back of his mind here, Sass, that there's something he's going to need, right? Surprised to see him place it so early, because it doesn't really seem to help him that much at this point, apart from the extra Daimyo, which, to be fair, is not bad in itself. So maybe that's what he's thinking about later on the line. But yeah, certainly surprised, because considering he had Spearmen, surprised he didn't go for the Hojo. But maybe he's thinking longer term. It's entirely plausible. Right, 20 minutes into the game. It's been a fun one, actually, strategically speaking. I've been enjoying it for sure. Oh, by the way, I had a bit of an experiment. I had a thought, actually. I was going to make a little bit of a cheeky request, a free one, completely free one. If you wouldn't mind, in the comment section below, just dropping down your most favorite emoji. I'm kind of seeing how much the algorithm kind of changes, or at least boosts out impressions on YouTube based on comments. So even just popping down an emoji would be super helpful. I'll kind of compare the viewership of this video compared to others. Obviously, there's loads of other metrics, but we'll talk about that later because there's a bit of fight going on here. Kipjack numbers actually building up here for Beasty. That's something that's probably worrying for Sass, I gotta say. I don't think you want to see the numbers of those Kipjacks rising too much, considering triple shot is in. Sass gonna charge on in through the stealth forest. Oh, he's kind of, yeah, I don't think he really wants to fight that. Numbers aren't looking good. Got his army split up after all. Left side, the Icky Monk. That's pretty cool, actually. It does fight, but probably not enough to take out Keshik. Alright, cycling back home. Alright, he's going to be making his way back home. Now bear in mind, for some reason, the UI didn't actually have health bars, so apologies for that, but they are back on now. For some reason, though, the setting kind of haywired. It is a test server after all, so maybe it didn't save it from last time, but yeah, they're back. They're in time for the big fights that are coming on, for sure. Any updates on the... yeah, he's got the level 3 now, so the cavalry now are going to have a shield on them. You can see, as the mounted samurais generally do, for the Japanese at least. Now he's got it for the Sengoku Daimyo. What it seems to be the case, though, is it doesn't actually affect all the units. I think it affects all the new units once it's established, which is a bit of a bummer. Like, you could have existing army that it doesn't apply to. But bigger thing to think about is that, actually, he'll be able to get some the levies. He'll be able to draft in some Yari cavalry, or maybe even some mounted samurai. But we probably would like to have this upgrade, right? Getting the mounted samurai Adachi. Increase the extra bonus damage against... Well, to be fair, no, maybe not. There's not very much infantry out here for Beastie, so maybe not. He's taking the fight. The army's kind of split. I'm not a fan of this fight here for the Sengoku Daimyo. He fought with half of his army. Beastie will love that trade. Great start to the fight here for Beastie. Now Sass comes into the fight, but Beastie doesn't have to engage necessarily. He could just try and back away. The big thing is, though, does he have a way out? Because he's kind of walled in, and this could be a nice trap here. And, oh, is he going to lead him down here? Oh, this could be big for Sass. Beastie, he's almost taken... I mean, he has to go somewhere, right? He's going to hit the walls up. Has he got walls here? He is. Great play by Sass. He might actually be able to trap Beastie and take out these units, because there are spearmen involved here. And Beastie, he's got no way out. But Sass has to complete the trap. Yeah, I think now he's not going to be able to get through. Maybe there was a way earlier, but with the walls up, oh, you could see the change, right? The cavalry was pathing around this way, but then it stopped because the walls were completed. Now he goes around. Oh, Sassy, no. He's got to keep this covered with the spearmen, surely. I mean, Beastie might take the fight anyway, but no, this is a missed opportunity for Sassy. He realizes it now, but it might be a little bit too slow. And it is. The cavalry charging on in, but spearmen a bit too slow to catch up. That's really unfortunate. Could have had a lot of cavalry taken out there. And instead, Beastie probably will be able to get out, because this is still open. I was going to go for the villagers anyway. Yeah, good pickoffs. It's unfortunate for Sass. Now Beastie, he's putting so much pressure behind all of this, by the way. He's got the Uvers. There they are. 4 of them. So stone income is pretty nifty. And that means he can keep pumping out Turgut. Or even upgrades, whatever he wants, really. Interestingly enough, he's gone for the Kharash Edict. Pretty cool unit. It's going to be able to increase the armor of allied units. Also gone for some Rus tributes. Again, another thing you can draft in for 135 stone. All paid for, of course, with Uvu income. It looks like Sas just wants to consolidate. Let's see what he's going for now. I wonder if he's actually going to go for his Tanegashima Ashigaru because of the Oda clan. I mean, this has got to be it, right? Have I just misread this? I don't know why he's got it otherwise. No, nothing yet. There's a big force here for Beastie. He's going to charge on in. Keshiks, dive on in. Spearman, need to get in position here for the Sengoku. Yeah, okay, there are some Tanegashima Ashigaru. We're having a first look at them today. This is a big fight, which actually I feel like BC's not in a bad spot. Although actually the Kipchaks kind of dancing around, can't get their full force out because there's a bit of cavalry on them. And that's so important for the Sengoku Daimyo, just to peel off a couple of units to go for the Kipchaks, not letting them stay safe. And the defender's advantage working out here massively for Sassy. He can replenish the army, and boy is he doing it. The cavalry is going to go through. He's in range of the fortified outpost. So he's charging it. He's going to use the glorious charge. That will increase the movement speed, but also ensure that these cavalry, all these units for the Golden Horde, takes 15% less damage. A perfect time to fight here for Beastie. But he's got Yumi Ashigaru, and these guys can pelt through these cavalry. He's doing a heck of a lot of damage. It's actually quite hard to tell who's going to win this fight because it's relatively even in terms of numbers. But of course, the glorious charge came on in. Looks like the Sengoku Daimyo will clean this up. And Beastie's going to have to go back to the drawing board. But bear in mind, he's got a better economy, right? Straight up. He's just got 4 relics worth of Uvus. And he's got more villages. So what's not to hate about, what's not to like about his position? He's in a good spot. As long as he takes some relatively even trades, he will be eking out further advantages. Look at the batch production. It really, really does swarm for the Golden Horde. The Yumi Ashigaru here, they've got to be careful. They've got to go back. He doesn't have enough here now. Sass, he's got to retreat. But of course, the movement speed on side of Beasties for sure. It's relatively, I think it's going to be a good fight for Beastie. He's got crossbows to lead this out as well. And he's shift clicking them. He's looking to get the Seiko sites as well. Has got one under his belt. Going to get the second. Oh, Sass. Some villagers there. Going to be sacrificed in the outpost as well. This is not great. This is not good. Going to lose a decent chunk of economy because of this. Now, of course, Beastie's just going to burn this down. No reason not to. That's 5 free villagers. That's a big pick-off. Yeah, that's rough. Also, the Keshik's gain a bit of health for doing that as well, for good measure. Probably want to delete this fast. Not that he needs the wood, really. He's taking the fight. That's a fight again that I think Beastie will win. Despite the Tanegashima Ashigaru, probably not enough of them. Alright, should be able to make it out of there now though. With the Yari cavalry charging, Shinobi are out as well. Probably going to deploy the grenades. He's back onto the glorious charge fortified outpost. That's the benefit of having the fortified outpost in the 4 positions, right? You can just make use of that ability. Gotta go right for the back line. He wants to get on top of the Tanegashima Ashigaru. And he probably will, actually. That's a great fight for Beastie, no doubt about it. The cavalry was split off for Sass. But he's going to go for his own backline on the Kharash. But this is actually great for Beastie. Make no mistake about it. The Kharash are cheap. And they're taking up time for the Yari cavalry, right? Realistically, this is the main fight. Because he's going to lose the Ashigaru, rather, Tanegashima. Although, to be fair, it clears it up. But good numbers down. Like, when you want to get rid of a certain unit, you just go straight for it, right? Earlier, it was the Kipchak that Sass wanted to get rid of. In this case, it was the Tanegashima Ashigaru that Beastie wanted to take care of. But there's still so many of them. And I wonder whether... I mean, interesting enough, he's actually not got... Oh, he needed level 2 for it. He needed level 2. That upgrade is huge for the Tanegashima Ashigaru. I was wondering whether that was something he was thinking about, but... Has he already kind of exhausted his clan stuff? Because, okay, he's got level 3. for the Takeda. You could potentially get this. Yeah, I mean, you can. So what you can do, you can. Yeah, this is kind of odd. Like, you can get level 3 to one of the clans, and then level 2 to the other. And that's it. You can only make 5 of the clan buildings. So I'm surprised he hasn't got level 2 for the Oda and that upgrade. It would be nice for him. Mostly for the range. Obviously, there's not much. Although, to be fair, there's a couple of crossbows in the mix for Beastyqt. He's taking the fight once again. And a couple of Kalash adding in. Going to increase the ranged, or the just general armor. Mangonels, though, that could work well against the crossbows. Beastyqt dodges. He dodges once. Oh, look at the cavalry coming in from the east side. Going right on top of the Ashigari, but it's going to go for the Mangonel first. Understandably so. This is looking a bit rough for Sassy. He's got some good numbers of the Ashigari, but if he loses the Mangonel, it could be curtains. There's only one of them. I take that back. There's 2. But he's suffering some losses on the back line. Those crossbows need to stay alive if you can. Finding it difficult to get onto the Mangonel, the cavalry. The Rus tributes are tanking. Oh, but he loses one of the Mangonels. Look at this. Beastie coming in with the cavalry on the right side. Probably going for the Mangonel. It's in the stealth forest. Might be difficult to see. Yeah, slowly but surely, Sass is running out of steam. You can see with the food income and just the general bank of resources. Beastie with 56 military. He's probably going to lose his second Mangonel as well. There's not much protecting it. Cavalry, I think they've gone around the right side for a bit of a raid. But yeah, the numbers just building up. This is the batch production for Beastie. It's huge. And there it is. GG gets called. A cracking game of Age of Empires 4. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. And if you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I've got plenty more casted games on the channel. If you're interested, there is a crazy strategy for the Tughlaq dynasty. I'll leave it as an end card on your screen right now, but either way, take care and see you next time.